Here we go, on to game 2 of Handy against Zpux. We saw last game that Handy really showed his skill. He took out Zpux. It was a really weird game. I mean, Handy's play strategically wasn't perfect, but it worked out because of what Zpux was doing. I mean, if Zpux had chosen another path, maybe he would have been able to win that game kind of easily. Whether it was DTs early or, massing units in the mid game as opposed to taking more passive expanding strategy. But it worked out for Handy. He ended up winning basically. He did a nice offensive gas in the beginning. After being offensive gas, took a nice expansion, turtled up that middle. So, anyways, it was, good work to Handy. He's up 1-0, and Zpux, it looks like, has chosen Andromeda. He's going to be Protoss in the top right against Handy's Terran in the top left. And this map is a very good map for Protoss versus Terran. I think every time a Protoss is going to choose a map against Terran in this tournament, it's definitely going to be Andromeda. I mean, the map, it favors Protoss. It's very hard for Terran to get any sort of map control here. You can't build turrets in most of the middle of the map. It's it's a hard map to stop like a 12 Nexus on or anything like that. So it'll be interesting to see what Zpux does here. It looks like he is going to go for a gateway as opposed to a very fast Nexus. And I don't blame him there. I think that playing a safe game against someone that you consider approximately your skill level is the way to go Protoss versus Terran here. Maybe if you're playing a better player, you're going to take that extremely quick Nexus before a gateway because, well, you kind of need that little extra advantage that it gives you. And also, it's a little bit riskier. If Handy, he is a kind of a rushy type player. We see him 2-fact quite often. So if he'd went for a 2-fact against like a 12 next, something like that, it would perhaps just win straight up there. So this is a good play by Zpux. He's going to get that quick gas. And Zpux is going to scout Handy right away here. And Handy just playing a very standard opening here. Good barracks placement. Marines can run through in case of any Zealots coming. A lot of people like Zealots on this map. And Handy, once again, showing that he likes to play I-Cup quite a bit. Scouting the center of the map immediately, but his SCV is just sitting here. I thought he was looking for proxy gates in the center. But in fact, I think he might be trying to make a factory here. And that would be kind of, I don't know about that move because the probe of Zpux is in Handy's base. He's going to realize if there's no factory. And Handy finally moves. I'm trying to wonder why that happened like that. Maybe he just, he was scouting. He scouted to the center. Just click it to the center, see if there's proxy, and then forgot about it for a moment while the probe distracted him. That's the only thing I can think that was going on there. That, or maybe he thought the probe would randomly run away from an SCV. Silly man if he thinks that. Probes don't run from nothing, kid. And the probe is just staying alive right now in the base. Very nice scouting here by Zpux. He sees that only one SCV on the gas, but I'm sure that he studied Zpux's play. Handy's play rather. Sorry about that. And Handy in the past has added those two SCVs again once getting rid of the probe to go for a 2-factory build. And will he do that here? I'm not too sure because he puts it on at the same time as you would for an FD Terran, a Siege Expand, anything like that. So we'll have to see. He re-lands the barracks, so that kind of lends itself to making more Marines as opposed to maybe floating out to a strong place to scout, whether it's the island, in the front of your base to see units coming, anywhere like that. And there we go. He is going to make more Marines here. Before any sort of command center and before another depot. So he's going to go up to 26 once he starts a tank here. A little bit odd on this builder. I'm very surprised to see that 3rd Marine before any sort of depot. And that means he's going to have to skip SCVs for a while here if he wants a siege tank. Handy's builds aren't quite, that pro gamer level. That's one of the problems with foreigners, that they don't know the build orders. They don't, it's hard to learn the build orders when you don't speak Korean. There's no high-level build order discussion in the foreigner scene. And especially considering the foreigner scene is split up amongst languages even more so. Handy, I think his English maybe isn't that great, so he probably hangs out with the Spanish-speaking scene a little bit more, so there's even less discussion then. And, you can see it kind of hurts. His build order is a little bit off. If this was Sea Shield, I'm sure you would have, 35 supply or something right now with a much better economy. But, foreigners, we do what we can. We see them in VODs. We try to copy it, but unless you can get some good pro replays, it gets very hard. And we see Zpux, he wants the pressure. We saw those 2 gateways. Oh, and a lot of damage to that goon. And he's going to rush the siege tank. Is he going to kill it? It's going to be very important to kill this siege tank. Nice repair there by Handy. A lot of damage done to these Dragoons. But that siege tank does go down. A couple Marines left. Oh, not microing the ramp too well. He should be using this Marine to try to target these hurt goons. And there we go. A lot of SCVs coming down. And this is going to save the day for Handy. He's going to be totally fine now. No way those goons are going to break that ramp against a siege tank and that many SCVs. And siege mode. Nice and quick siege mode. Holding off those Dragoons. And, you know, once again, Handy, his build order kind of paying off. You know, he's got that very fast siege. And it's very good against the 2 Gateway Dragoon. And we see Zpux still trying to break the ramp, seeing if he can kill some SCVs here, but Handy getting a little bit lucky on those SCVs, not taking a lot of hits because of the high ground. And really, Handy is in a very good position right now. That rush did pretty much nothing, cost Zpux a good amount of money to do. And Handy's just, he's countered it very well here. You know, he's got the siege mode, and you know, it's kind of a weird choice to go for that quick of siege mode on this map. Oftentimes, players will go for a little bit slower siege mode, get that quicker second factory, because Protoss loves to take double expand. We see Zpux taking that double expand right now. But oftentimes, you know, they won't go the 2 gate range. They'll instead go for that double expand, and then skipping the siege is going to allow you for a very good rush time against them. But, you know, it's working out for Handy, absolutely. He's in a good position. He's turtling up a little bit right now. He's got to feel good. You know, he could tell that was a 2 gateway range. He wants to make sure it's not followed up by any sort of DT foolishness. So he's making plenty of turrets here, and he is looking very safe. Still only 1 factory, though. You know, Handy, his factory timings are a little bit odd, but maybe he's going to go for this second base really quick. We see the SCV mining right there, and it looks like he is, in fact, going to go for the second base. And that's going to put him up to 3 bases, 2 expansions this fast in the game. And this is a cute little barracks landing, but I'm going to tell you all a trick right now. Not much of a trick, but apparently Handy doesn't know it. Float that barracks over the minerals, and Protoss cannot mine them. I mean, otherwise they can drop a probe here, mine that, put up a pylon, put up a cannon, kill this barracks, you know. But if it's floating over there, they can't do anything. They have to ferry in a Dragoon and kill the barracks. So, you know, it's very effective to just float it over those minerals. You know, anything I can do to help out those Terran players, try to kill those Protosses on their Protoss maps. You feel really good about yourself if you can pull it off. We see Zpux, he's got the 2 bases up already. Handy going for this so fast 2 base. And just playing quite a defensive game, getting this very quick academy. Probably going to want to see an armory decently soon, or, you know, he has the eBay, yeah, putting up the turrets, but he's definitely going to go for some mass unit timing rush, and, you know, the +1 upgrade might be a good time for that. And but no armory quite yet for him. We've noticed in the other games I've seen of Handy so far, he likes to do 2 armories at once, so I guess he's waiting on that. He's already got this second gas, which is actually a very nice move, because it's going to allow him to add a ton of factories once his economy gets going. I mean, if you don't get that quick of gas, you have to add your factories a lot more slowly. And we see he's already gotten a ton of siege tanks. You know, he's already got 5, it looks like, and 6 and 7 already queued up. So yeah, this extra gas is absolutely needed. And there we go. There's the armory. He knows what's going on. He's going to have a nice rush timing, I think, getting this extremely fast 2 bases. Terran can be extremely, extremely powerful. And really, Protoss needs to have Psystorm and a lot of units to deal with the rush that I think we're going to see out of Handy here. You know, he's going to just add so many factories, just stop units all together for a minute here, and just add factories, factories, factories. Fill up everything with factories, and I mean, it is hard to macro this map, getting this many bases so quickly. You know, Terrans are very used to just taking 1 base and then a much later second base, and it's much easier to macro at that point, because it's just, you know, the game flow that you're used to with your macro. But when you do a build like this, the money just starts pouring in. So we're going to see money start pouring in a minute here for Handy, and he's going to need so many factories to spend that all. And, you know, he's got the gas, and he is, oh, there we go, he is getting the second armory. So he's going to have a very nice rush timing going on. Probably going to wait for 1-1 then and move out. And Zpux, I think he's pretty aware of what's going on. I mean, he's got some nice observers placed, some very nice pylons placed, and I don't think there's going to be any surprises this game from poor Jesus. Handy. These H Terrans, I don't know what's going on. And Zpux looks like he is just massing up, and he's going to take this. This is a very good base to take. It's going to be very hard for Handy to harass, especially once Zpux finishes this little pylon wall, maybe throw a cannon behind it, and that's going to give him that fourth base. It's just crucial. And in fact, it's a nice fifth base there as well. So Zpux is just going to want to mass up, get Psystorm. I cannot stress that enough. There we go. He does have an Archives going up. He has one forge, second forge going, and a Stargate already. So he's going to go for a quick Arbiter as well. He does have that second gas. And, that quick Arbiter, it's hard to say if that's going to pay off or not. It's going to use up a lot of his gas. He's going to have less Psystorm because of it, which is going to make it very hard to defend the first rush, but it's going to give him a stronger late game once he has those extra Arbiters, that extra stasis, that recall threat. Excuse me. After he has all of that, much better late game. But it's this one rush timing that Handy's going to have that's really scaring me for Zpux here. He's going to get that 1-1. He's going to have just a ton of units. We see he's adding more and more facts. He's got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 facts so far. He can really add even more than that, to be honest. And once he has this huge rush ready, it doesn't matter how many units you have as Protoss if you don't have any spells to back them up. You're going to have to get some lucky mind drags. Maybe, there won't be any Goliaths, so you can use some Zealot bombs. It's kind of like up to the Terran to screw up if you don't have Psystorm with you. Otherwise, if you have the Psystorm, Terran has to go a lot more slowly. They can't clump up. And if they do attack too fast, you just Psystorm to death. If they don't attack too fast, it gives you time to get even more macro going, more Stargates, anything at all. We see Zpux going for another base. This is a very interesting base for him to take. This is tankable by any sort of dropship. If he attacks from the low ground, this is going to die extremely quickly as opposed to this one, which is a lot harder because, you have to either scan it, get units up the ramp, whatever. This is just a better base to take up here. But, Zpux, maybe he's going to take both of them right away. And he just wanted this one a little bit quicker because of the more mineral patches, the extra gas, and his, very gas-heavy strategy here of double upgrades, Arbiter, and hopefully High Templar. Come on, where are your High Templars? Oh, no. No High Templars yet. It looks like he wants to just mass, super macro mode with Arbiter. And, again, that's, you kind of have to make a mistake as Terran to straight up lose to that. It's just ground units, and in a just ground battle, Terran should win as long as they're careful. It's place your tanks right, place your mines right, place your vultures right, and you're going to pretty much cream a Protoss army. But if there's Psystorm, of course, things just change instantly. And we see that Handy, he's moving kind of slow. He's already got that +1 attack, and the +1 armor almost done now. He's got 150, so really, this is a decent rush time right here. Zpux at 180. He's got no Arbiter yet. No Arbiter yet. That is right. No Psystorm. So this is a perfect rush timing. And there we go. One armor finishes, and Handy is gone. He realizes he is a timing style player. Even if his macro falls off a little bit, he knows his timing's here. And here he goes. And Zpux running in. Not sure if this is the best position to attack into. Nice placement here by Handy. He has very good vultures surrounding these siege tanks to stop the Zealots from hurting him. And he is just destroying the Zpux army. And Zpux has got to back off right now, or his Dragoons are going to get plastered by these siege tanks. The 1-1 Grey is just doing wonders, even against the 1-1 of Zpux. And ouch, Zpux is in a hard spot right now. Handy is very close to his base, and he's got a lot of factories now. He's just rallying vultures. Rally your vultures, Handy, and you're going to have this game. No Psystorm. Finally, the first Arbiter comes out. Finally, we see a High Templar. Does he have... No, I do not know if he has Psystorm yet. Maybe he already got it. But anyways, Handy is just pushing on ahead. And if Zpux does not get some spells off pretty quickly here, he is going to be losing this game. And no mana yet for the High Templar. And Zpux pushing too quickly into that. But a nice pullback. Kills a few tanks. Looks like he only lost 5 Dragoons or so right there. So it's not as bad as it could have been, that's for sure. But Zpux is, he is looking very hurt right now. Handy is catching up in supply fast. Vulture's being rallied. I mean, if you don't have a lot of gateways as Protoss, it is hard to keep up with Terran, who is rallying pure Vulture. I mean, as long as he doesn't lose his siege tanks, those Vultures, they build so quickly. They move across the map, join up with your army so quickly. Spider Mines just make it more annoying. You have to spend more time clearing out. You have to be more careful. And it is just, it just builds up for Terran. They get exponentially stronger in a situation like this. You know, these Sea Chinks just not dying. And, oh, Zpux, oh, you need some spells, man. Come on, he has 100 mana now. Does he have stasis? We'll have to see. Stasis, there we go. Beautiful stasis right there. Freezing a bunch of tanks, and he should be able to break out of this small amount, but I don't know if he's going to want to go the whole way. These vultures just picking off all of these zealots so quickly. Pull back, Zpux, pull back. There you go. Come on, pull back. Very nice. But these turrets going up, beautiful turrets right here. Nice multitasking this game by Handy to bring up these SCVs. They're going to build those turrets. It's going to harass the Arbiter, get detection going so he doesn't run out of scan. Using these stasis units as a wall, but the Zealots just run around. They're like, sup, we are so fast. Killing the Siege Tanks. And as the tanks die, that is very good for Zpux. But his unit count is getting extremely low. Only 130 supply, 135 for Andy. So he has passed him now. And he can basically pure Vulture right now. We're going to have to see some Dragoons popping out. And yes, Zpux making a bunch of Dragoons. A lot queued, though. I wish he had more gates. But he does have some more gates over at this base. And Zpux just gives it up. Oh, Handy takes the match down 2-0. You know, I didn't think that Zpux was going to leave quite yet with all those gates down at the bottom. But I guess he realized, you know, with Vultures getting into the main base, the Spider Mines being laid there, this expansion dying, really, it was just going to go downhill from there. I'm very sad to see Zpux go out in the round of 16. An excellent Protoss player. But Handy has outplayed him this time. And Handy takes it out 2-0. He will be moving on to the round of 8. So there we go. GG's and nice job to Handy.